The Galaxy S26 Pro's screen dimensions and power cell capacity have surfaced in leaks. In the coming year, Samsung is set to attach an all-new label to the Galaxy S family. The S26 collection is expected to showcase 3 devices: the S26 Pro, the S26 Edge, and the S26 Ultra. Interest is centered on the S26 Pro, with many questioning if it truly lives up to its Pro title. A new disclosure purports to unveil specifics about its display and battery. The S26 Pro is tipped to feature a notably larger panel and energy pack. Positioned to replace the standard S25 next cycle, the S26 Pro allegedly flaunts a 6.27-inch display, slightly roomier than the 6.2-inch screen on the S25. This indicates slimmer borders around the panel. The upcoming model is also said to pack a 4,300 mAh battery, a 300 mAh increase over the S25's 4,000 mAh unit. The source of this intel is Chinese leaker Digital Chat Station, who has proven fairly accurate in prior reports. Hence, the data on the S26 Pro appears credible. This marks the second instance of the S26 Pro's battery specifications appearing online. Previous claims suggested that both the S26 Pro and other devices in the S26 line will integrate an extra NFC antenna on the handset's top to improve payment functions. This would resemble iPhones, which already deliver smoother performance when completing payments or transferring files and other media via AirDrop. Since the S26 Pro is considered the direct successor to the S25, it's reasonable to anticipate a triple rear lens array. It could maintain the same setup: a 50-megapixel primary shooter, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a telephoto camera. Whether the telephoto will receive an upgrade isn't clear. Processing hardware is expected to be either a 2nm Exynos 2600 SoC or a custom Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 for Galaxy. It may carry 12 GB of RAM along with 256 GB per 512 GB storage choices. Certain whispers claim Samsung might roll out Qi 2 wireless charging with magnetic alignment for the S26 range. The Galaxy S26 Pro could potentially replace what has been Samsung's most well-rounded phone for mainstream buyers. Meanwhile, Apple is said to be overhauling its own iPhone line by scrapping the Plus edition in favor of a sleeker iPhone Air, moving from one of the least anticipated models to a likely head-turner. Samsung, too, tested the waters with the S25 Edge, showcasing a more compact build on the Android front, though the rest of the S25 catalog was seen as lackluster. With minimal tweaks to justify an early switch from the S24 family, many called it uninspiring. Next year, however, might bring a bigger shift. Samsung is seemingly gearing up for a strategy shakeup, one that could carry mixed results. The S26 Pro might turn that into reality. The Plus edition in the Galaxy S family has long been the neglected middle sibling. Heavy users typically flock to the Ultra, while everyday customers lean toward the entry model. That leaves the Plus, which aims to provide the standard features in a bigger body with extended battery life, caught in between and mostly overlooked. Now, it seems the S26 Plus is being discontinued. Its replacement appears to be the S26 Edge, though whether it genuinely surpasses the Plus remains to be seen. Personally, the most intriguing news is on the premium ladder. Samsung seems to be building a smaller S26 Pro, a concept my colleague Scott had wished for last year. This model could stand head-to-head with Google's upcoming Pixel 10 Pro and Apple's iPhone 17 Pro. Both are compact yet fully flagship-grade, not just Pro in name. Here's where the situation grows complicated. Reports suggest the S26 Pro may not be an extra model but a substitute for the base Galaxy S variant, which has traditionally been the most affordable flagship, not the diluted FE version. If that change materializes, it blurs the entire structure. Will Pro stand for genuine premium or simply a label? If Samsung truly replaces the regular edition with the Pro, it would mean the whole series is being nudged upscale. Yet, there's a real possibility the S26 Pro might not offer much beyond the ordinary version, just wearing a Pro tag while retaining the same cost. At first glance, it might appear as if buyers are getting a Pro-branded device at the standard flagship price. But let's be realistic. Would Samsung actually deliver a full-scale Pro smartphone at $800 without cutbacks? Unlikely. To hit that mark, compromises on features would be inevitable. What customers could end up with is a standard Galaxy S masquerading as something more. That's the very definition of going in circles. On the flip side, if this does end up being a genuine Pro upgrade, overall pricing might rise. That would push the base S26 option past the $1,000 line. Bad news for those hoping to secure a flagship within a tighter budget. Losing that midpoint balance, imagine yourself in early 2026 wanting a Samsung flagship around $800. The natural pick, the S26, is no longer there. You're left either overspending on the S26 Pro, despite not needing the extras, or looking toward the Fan Edition or upper mid-tier Galaxy models. Those have matured and provide good value, but they still lack the pure flagship feel, particularly the FE line, which borrows the S branding but not the full essence. Even today's Galaxy S24 FE isn't poor, but its trade-offs are obvious. Whether it's dated Gorilla Glass, slower charging, lower-res selfies, or cheaper build materials, there's always some reminder it's not the true deal. These aren't absolute deal-breakers but enough to make you question if the savings are justified. Even if the Galaxy S25 isn't on par with the Ultra, it still carries the newest software, hardware, and premium ethos. The Galaxy S24 FE, by contrast, already trails the S25, lacking the advanced ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, smaller RAM, and other essentials that make a flagship feel whole. The Galaxy S26 Pro's power pack specifications have also surfaced through 3C filings. The S26 Pro's battery was spotted on 3C certification under specific model numbers. Notably, the 942 in those identifiers aligns with the internal code SMS942, confirming these units belong to the S26 Pro. The documents specify a rated cell of 4,175 mAh, which will likely be marketed as 4,300 mAh. Besides 3C, the same batteries have appeared in BIS records. Apart from the identifiers, however, the listings haven't shared crucial details about charging speeds. Still, these entries suggest Samsung is actively developing the S26 series. Recently, both the S26 Pro and S26 Edge's capacities leaked, showing the Pro with a slightly larger 4,300 mAh unit compared to the Edge's 4,200 mAh cell. Samsung, though, hasn't made this official, so time will tell. On the camera front, earlier reports confirmed the S26 Ultra will feature a 200-megapixel primary sensor, consistent with past Ultras. Now, fresh leaks point to the telephoto lens. This surfaced months ahead of the phone's expected debut next year. Galaxy Club reports that the S26 Ultra is set to use a 50-megapixel telephoto with 5x optical zoom. It employs a 1/2.52-inch sensor with 0.7 m pixels, PDF, and OIS, the same module used in both the S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra.